So, Gen G lost map 1.
What?
Mad Cat and
Wait,
company,
what?
yeah, Fuego, took game 1 off of Gen G.
So
And Elevate lost game 1. So, everyone's saying Gen G's going to come out and smoke the
Oh,
entire
no,
competition.
no,
I don't
no.
know. It's pool day, but yeah, they dropped game 1 in the hard point. Again, it's a slow day. It's the first start of champs. Anything is possible, right? And if they lose, let's say they lose the series somehow. It's not the end of the world, right? You have time to bounce back. It really doesn't affect your run here this weekend. But it's still not great. I mean, you don't want to go down 0-1 the
No.
first match. No, that's
you don't.
never wants to happen.
I mean, first map of the day. I mean, you can be a little lenient. You can call it pool play, but I do know a lot of people
Yeah.
that's been predicting Genji to take it this event, and I don't know. I mean, everybody talks about how they've been to so many finals and they've done so well against tier teams, and the thing is they haven't won yet. You
Yeah.
know, they haven't clutched up. They haven't shown that they have what it takes yet. Obviously, incredible team. I mean, they've shown so much promise, and we're all expecting it to really show up here on champs. But already going down 0-1, hopefully it doesn't bother them too much going into the next matches today.
Yeah, well, we can only keep updates for you guys. Of course, you want to see those matches. They're on at the other streams. I believe they are on Alpha. But still, we're going to get rolling with game number 2. Of course, it'll be S&D. E6 versus Team WaR. But before we get there, we're going to talk a little bit more about this matchup. This is E6, right? An organization that's been known for having some of the best caliber players, but they've yet to win a chip. The organization itself has yet to be able to come out and finally win the big one. Whether or not that's this weekend or in general, it would be amazing, right, if they're able to do it this weekend as bringing home a first championship. But still, I mean, earlier in the year, they had a team, and it was comprised a bit of a scrambled squad. You had Frosty who kind of led that IGL role. Of course, now he's on Midnight with Parasite, but Frosty looking to come in this weekend. Of course, Midnight Squad looks very tough, but Frosty is a player, right? He's a world champion in Halo, trying to become a world champion in Call of Duty. I don't know if that's ever been done before in terms of cross-platforms or even cross-FPS, but still, if he's able to do it, it would be a hell of an achievement. But looking at E6 in general, they absolutely can make a run. There's no question about it. They can make a run, but it's not like a situation where we're looking at Optic Gaming and saying, yes, they're going to make a run. They're going to make a run to top 4, possibly top 3, at least top 6. You know, that's where I think they're going to end up landing. E6, maybe they'll surprise me. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe I'll be completely wrong. But with all the competition that's out there, like you said, like with Gen G, I mean, even though they're struggling, these teams are light years above everyone else. And I just think it's going to be a little bit too difficult for them.
No, I completely agree. I mean, you expect these teams to do very good. And I do want to touch back on the Frosty for a second. As a Halo player, you know, we also have Hook, who's also a Halo player, and we expected him to do so well. All those years been average, a little above average, expected so much out of him. So now we're talking about Frosty, see if he can do anything. Waiting for that kind of cross-platform win. And yes, everyone, I am working on my slowing down, speaking, and breathing.
Just got to talk 3 times faster now. You just have to speed.
It's just, now you're just never going to understand it.
No, but again, going back to sort of the situation that a lot of these players are in, looking at some of these top teams, it's not necessarily about beating out individuals on those squads, right? You can look at Team WaR, you can look at even across the board, you look at like a team like Fuego, right? Mad Cat's the big name that stands out. With a lot of these younger teams, even Mazer, for example, you look at that. The first person you're going to see is Spacely, right? Of course, Barzillion's there, but you're seeing that big hitter, right? Spacely. That's the #1 player. Looking at a lot of these amateur teams and a lot of these teams coming in, it's usually about, oh yes, we have 1 or 2 big hitters, followed by a core structured squad that can do the job. They can get it done, and we have people there to sort of lead them to victory. When it comes, you're not playing against individual players when it comes up to playing against the big dogs. You're playing against a team, a full orchestrated squad that has been practicing all year. Looking at E United, they're the best example I can give of kind of where Gen G sits right now. E United, their whole story has been, we know they can win a chip. It's just about the fact that they haven't hit the next level. They've been struggling to finally close it out. Once they did, I mean, it wasn't even close in that second series in Miami. That's where Gen G kind of lies right now. They remind me of a younger E United. I know that sounds weird to say, but think about it. I mean, E United took so long to finally clear that hurdle. Once they did, they haven't looked back. And I know it's only been one event, but they look like a different E United team. Same thing with Gen G. We know they can do it. It's can they clear the hurdle? This is the weekend to do so, and for a lot of these teams coming in, especially 100 Thieves, top pick for most people. Miami was a slow start for them. Nobody really expected them to drop that quickly, but still, they need to come in this weekend and show that they still have that form from Anaheim.
Looking at the qualified teams, that's almost an advantage when you think about it.
Yeah.
They've never played these top-tier teams the same the other way around. The top-tier teams haven't really played them. Maybe scrim a couple of them because there's former pros on the teams. But other than that, they are complete surprise coming in. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're a fast team. You don't know if they're a slow team.
Right.
All you have is a couple of VODs to watch from the open bracket stream at Miami, and see what they did. But that surprise factor is something a lot of these teams could really take advantage of, especially when a lot of players won't know who they're playing against. They don't know their history. They might not even know their name.
Yeah.
So taking that surprise factor and trying to run with that and knowing that your squad is good and knowing that you can do it and knowing that these players sitting across from you should be scared of you and they are probably underestimating you and taking advantage of that, I think that's what a lot of teams here are going to do.
Now, you've competed for a little bit, and I want to ask you something specifically, right? And coming in as an amateur squad, if you're looking like just for what we're actually focusing on today, which is right now E6 versus WaR. If it was any different squad, a WaR coming in, maybe E6 doesn't look at WaR's VOD, right? Because a lot of these AM teams have that up leg. They have the ability to be unpredictable. Maybe they're not as structured as a lot of these pro teams. Coming in, do you think that favors some of these AM teams to be able to knock out maybe a pro team here or there because they're a little bit too chaotic? Or do you think right now it just comes down to capitalizing as a pro team, knowing we're good enough to be here, and it doesn't matter what they throw at us, we're going to be able to find a way around it?
It is a little bit of like we are good enough, we fought to be here. I haven't placed anything higher than like top 64.
I won champs 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
Yeah, that's why I'm here right now.
Just from thinking about that type of perspective, I mean, not that they don't have any expectations. Obviously, they have fans, they have organizations, they have people backing them. But coming in as a top AM team, you don't have the weight of pro league on your shoulders, if that makes sense.
True.
You don't have that weight of you are expected to place this amount. You're expected to win this many games. You're expected to sweep. You're expected to be the underdog. You're expected to make it a surprise run. You're expected to beat these pro teams unknowingly.
Yeah.
So you don't have that weight on your shoulders because on the side of E6, it's we have to beat this. This is an AM team, these are the people that we're supposed to kick out of the pools.
Yep.
Like we're just worried about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whereas these AM teams, they're worried about right now. So I think if they capitalize on that, I mean, you're going in pretty calm.
Yeah, and how can you not, right? If you're a pro team, how can you not be thinking about the rest of the weekend? I mean, that kind of pressure, knowing that you have to make it through the gauntlet, which is Friday through Sunday. And people forget, I mean, Champs is a completely different event than every other staple. It's about mentality. It's about showing up, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday at most events, it's pretty grueling, right? No disregard there, but Champs is taxing mentally. I mean, the pressure that's on these players. And then again, that's where some of these amateurs can come in and say, look, we're focused on right now. We're not worried about Friday through Sunday. We're focused on getting out of pools. That's where our liabilities are as we stand. But still, we're waiting to make sure we get in the lobby for everyone. Of course, Game 2 S&D will be coming up. We'll wait to have to see what map it is. Predictions early. I still think Team WaR's going to be able to take this one. I mean, the respawn was not close by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a S&D team, I should say. This is a team that was built around the capabilities of their search. They can come out and they could stomp E6 right off the rip and sort of make it a statement game and reset the momentum completely. They could.
All right, so it looks like we did just get the information that they will be on Arsenal, which, again, I do expect Team WaR to also take that. If it was something more like Hacienda, it would have been a little more iffy for me, just because E6 does have very strong ARs on their side. But, I mean, Arsenal, I expect Team WaR to have their setups, do very incredibly well, and come at E6 very, very fast and very, very strong. They know they need to take the map, and I think they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and Arsenal is not a map where your subs are going to be a pressure situation. So you're going to be looking at the ARs, and that is specifically where I look at PD to really come huge. Vortex needs to be a bit of a baiter. He needs to be able to get in, get information, dip out with his life, and that's where Team WaR can capitalize. So moving into our search and destroy, of course, E6. If you missed our game 1, that's okay. They're up 1-0. Was not that close of a hard point, relatively convincing for E6, and they're able to show their true form on C-side. But moving into Arsenal, Ali, looking off the rip, who would you like to hop on board with? Vortex, PD, Dave. They're all good. They're all good lads. Who are we looking at?
Honestly, I want to see Vortex. I want to see him just running around. He's such a fast player, and I just love watching him in his movement. And it looks like we are going to stick with him, but it does look like a full push from E6 on to the B site. But Kismet gets defrag in the back. Defrag hopefully would have played his life there, but now they are in a 5v4. Looks like they're going from the back. Number 8, if you pay attention, PD, looks like he wanted to go through mid, but wasn't able to. See if we can get 2 here. That's 3 down for Team WaR. Is now 1v3. That was actually a very quick push from Enigma6. They took advantage of that usual A push, usual A defense setup, and they took advantage of that on B site and just rolled with it. So now they are up 1-0 in the S&D, which is honestly surprising. I did expect a little more out of Team WaR, but hopefully they'll take this offensive and run with it.
I mean, it looked promising on the retake, but like you can see in your final play, I mean, Kismet just stopped them in their tracks. And that's one of the situations where Team WaR really has to adapt, right? You're going to see a lot of these quick hits from the pro teams thinking, come challenge us. This is our turf. We are here to do our thing, and it's up to you to respond. And Team WaR needs to be able to bounce back quickly. Still, we'll wait to see who our bomb carrier is. Defrag will be that player. We're going to hop on board with him. Let's see what he's able to do. Off to the A site.
Enigma6, they've seen that. So we've seen a lot of 5-hit mid. It looks like that's what E6 is hoping to kind of blind counter in this moment. But WaR looks like they will probably get control of this A site. But they do have 3 players from E6 coming in the pack. Looks like PD gets the information. Unfortunately, the pistol does not do it for him. And now we are in a 44. Actually, Vortex does get the trade onto Breezy. Dave going out of the map. He is behind them. He picks off one, but Kismet turns around and takes him for a ride. Now it's 3v2. Bomb is planted.
And they don't have positioning either. I mean, they're pushed back steps, and here comes the stun, and maybe it'll connect with a couple. They have him isolated in pillars, but still one in vents. He does find one. Oh, body's falling over the place, and General's able to stop him. Now a 2v1. Defrag has to come huge. There's one player on the bomb. He's able to get the stun. Oh, he needs to go and challenge for at least one. General hops off. He's completely weak, and they should be able to get this one closed. With 10 seconds, they're going to be able to get the defuse and stick it. And it's just a good retake from Enigma6. They played around the stun. They're able to counter one with their own. They stop him inside a lobby. And again, a situation where the team trades are there. They hit the flank early, and they're able to come up behind Team WaR and surprise.
I mean, they flooded straight through mid. They didn't even think about it. They're like, okay, they're not mid, let's go. And they just ran with it. And I think caught WaR a little bit by surprise. That first stun looked incredibly promising. We're going to watch General real quick, see what he can do. He does get 1 kill, and the bomb defused. But it was looking a little promising with that first stun. You know, I thought, oh, they're both hard stun. You know, he's going to get the side, he's going to get the kill. But then, you know, had the one come through vent. Defrag got one, but they backed up a little bit and stuck in a little bit of 1v2. So it's just one of those situations where it's like, what else can you do?
Yeah, the team trades are really going to favor E6. But for Team WaR, their biggest point for now is being able to jump ahead early. And that means finding first and second blood immediately off the rip. You have to get E6 in an uncomfortable situation, or else this game will run away from you. We know we said Team WaR should be able to take this one, but for now, it has not been close at all. Of course, PD does find first. Let's see if he's able to follow up with 2. General at 4 and 1. Still backing down, looking at player down sights. Defrag able to make that another. And finally, Team WaR have the man advantage.
Team WaR is playing it very, very slow, which I like. They're waiting for E6 to come for them because they saw how much they ran through. They're like, okay, we're going to play a slower defense, wait for them to come to us. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Now it is a 2v4 on the side of WaR, 4v1. Now this is what we expect from WaR. We expect them to play that slow game and really just take control of the map, and that's exactly what they've done in this round. There goes General from Dave. That was much more promising. That was much more the Team WaR we expect. That's much more Team WaR that we like to see.
Yep.
And hopefully with that, they'll keep taking round after round and slowly taking back over that lead.
Yeah, they needed to get first and second blood quickly, and they did it right in that round, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the ability for Team WaR to be unpredictable a little bit, but not, even if we don't want to go that far, to get out ahead and keep the rhythm from falling back in E6's favor. You stop their momentum from game 1 a little bit, but still, when the strats start coming out from E6, that's where the pro mentality comes out. And of course, no shade to Team WaR, right? We have 4 more pros on that squad, but you have to get ahead of the meta. You have to get ahead of the game early and set the pace. They did that in round number 2. Now, let's see if they're able to do it in round number 4.
It's all about those first bloods, right? Enigma6, first blood, first round. They got that first round. Second round, first blood. They got it. In the third round, WaR got that first blood. You know, they took advantage of it. They were like, play it slow, get first blood. We have the round. That's exactly what they did. Once again, we're seeing a bit of a slower round. Looks like a hard counter on A from E6. The bomb is in mid, though. There's only one player on the side of E6 on B site. That will be Breezy, but 2 do go down for Team WaR. Make that 3. They're trying to push this A site, but E6 is there and ready, and they get picked apart, unfortunately, after going into lobby, pushing through the back. Now, once Team WaR had the information that they were set up on A, you know, they were hearing the shots, they were getting shot at, you know, typically that's a sign to, you know, back up, rotate, reevaluate where you want to go on the map, reevaluate, excuse me, because there was only one player on B, but unfortunately they did get hard countered, and that's always tough when you just kind of get blind countered out of sight, and you have to be expecting that, you know, right?
Yeah, God Rex in general will not back down from the anchor side. They will not back down from the back line. So if you're able to get either in front of them quickly and stifle their plays, or you're able to get behind them on the flank and catch them off guard, that's where you capitalize against Enigma. But still, Team War struggling to find the first couple of bloods and make it an advantage, at least in the man count. But for now, oh, Breezy able to take out David Log. The sniper so powerful, and still first blood falling for Enigma6 has kind of been the tune they've been singing on this map. That bomb looking to get down relatively soon. Oh, Breezy able to get a hit marker, not able to find it. Josh, way too cheeky on that challenge, but one in the back, Kismet shuts him down. And even on the flank, Enigma6 are capitalizing.
And this is exactly what I was talking about last round. Enigma6 got the information. They were at A. They fought a little bit. They got a couple first picks. Instead of fighting it, they're just rotating. They're trying to take that longer route, and they're going right back to A. They've completely tricked Team War, which we've seen this happen multiple times. They're going to get the bomb plant. Team War is now on the side of B. Looks like they're finally understanding what has happened. You do have number 8, PD. He is trying to get in the lobby. He will have a sniper. Hopefully he can get a pick here. General not backing down from that statue. Heady, and now we're left with Josh. Looks like he might take a trip into the sand dunes. Another round for E6. I mean, they've just played so composed, so together. They've been wolf packing most of the areas. It just looks like communication on the side of E6 is going much more their way.
Yeah, and whatever they're calling in those comms, it hasn't been disrupted. They've been able to execute on each round. Yes, they did lose one, but it was basically a 4v5 and then quickly a 3v5 where they had to back up and there was really nothing they could do. But still, even on the flank, Kismet aware, able to come up big, find the kill. And look, I called Team War to be able to take game 2, and we said that this is one of the best S&D teams here. I honestly believe that they are one of the best S&D teams here. They have such phenomenal skill, such phenomenal talent. But E6, again, able to just run away with this one. Kismet at 8-2. Looks like we're getting close to the grab. On the other side, no one really cooking with anything. And that's going to come down to really the specialist usage if we have to close those rounds out. For now, still on your screen, Defrag, looking for one player to come through lobby, but no one's going to be there. Vortex just checking lights. And with all that happening, that bomb is yet to move up. We've now hit the minute mark. And we have to start making a move towards B, but it will be Breezy. He is there. If they spot him, well, that island has to back up. But if not, they have the info, and you should see at least 3 players hit through mid.
PD is really important here. He's number 8 over on your A site. He is gathering that information. E6 did that little mid push. They backed up. They are now on A, and PD has that information. He's still there with that sniper. He can tell them when he starts seeing them moving or rotating, maybe going on a flank. But it looks like E6 is going for the deep route. Number 5 for them, Mayhem, is still there. PD might get really good timing on anyone, but, I mean, bomb's going down. It needs to be planted. Bomb is planted. There's now 43 seconds on the clock, but it's a 5v3. They're getting picked off. They did not push up. Vortex thankfully gets one, but he has no teammates to help him, and that's all of them down for Team War. And I've talked about this map so much on B site where you need to push up. You need someone on top or deep back, like an ICR, calling that rotation. Because if not, you're stuck guns. You are stuck on a terrible angle trying to watch your bomb, which is most likely planted for inner, which is also where you can't watch it unless you wide peek that, and you're going to get picked off by an ICR on top, which is exactly what happened to Team War here. Looks like we're going to watch GodRx. Quick best of play. He gets out one. A little bit of a shaky shot. He is heading his way through lobby, and he helps his teammate with those team shots on number 2.
Now, if you're wondering why E6 didn't let that timer tick down a little bit more and get closer to that utility working for nades on that side, you're probably wondering, well, why didn't they do that, right? You want to be able to get those nades and those trophies together, but the reason, I think, in probably the clearest way, you don't give Team War any time to regroup. You don't give them any time to have that communication or just to be like, hey, what exactly went wrong? You want to keep this game going as quickly as possible because of the momentum shift. Well, Beauty gets right in his face, punishes General, and they have first blood for now. Team War still 5 men up, and they have complete control of mid-map as well, so it looks like a rotation will come. They're going to check B, and if no one's there, they have to know that they're at least scouted in mid, and the bomb should be near A. But yeah, you want to make sure that you don't give Team War any time to really settle into their rhythm. Just keep this game going and try to go up 2-0.
Now, Team War, they got that pick and they backed up, and I love that. They didn't push through, they didn't force a flank, because you look on the side of E6, number 1 and number 5, GodRx and Mayhem, they're ready for it. They returned for that. Bomb hasn't even gone down that. There's 40 seconds left. Josh gets 2, but one of them, unfortunately, was his teammates, but it still is a 3v2 for Team WaR. Looks like they now have the bomb site, so bomb still needs to go down on the side of E6. This was an excellent retake by Team WaR. E6 looked like they hesitated on that bomb plant just for a second, but now they're getting read by WaR. They're probably going to get the timing, get picked off of bomb site. Let's see if GodRx can protect his teammate, but he's backing up. Team WaR is playing so patiently in lobby. I almost wish they would have peeked and got that kill because GodRx is mid right now. He wasn't watching over his teammate, but that still is a good situation for WaR because they are wolf packing. Mayhem gets one. He cannot get the two. The nade will go out, but GodRx is lobby, but thankfully Dave is there for it, and so is Josh, and they will get the defuse on the side of Team WaR. Now that was so much more composed by Team WaR. They played that so well together. Like I said, I don't know if I like that slow lobby when they could have gotten the pick, but obviously they clutched up and went it out in the end.
Yeah, and if GodRx was able to actually survive, pick up a kill, I mean, we're looking at a game 2 win for E6. But like you said, Team WaR playing passive. They wanted that bomb to go down, and then they play for the retake. You have to play sort of the short game, right? And we talk, you talk about it in sports a little bit. Play short ball, play it real up and close. Don't let things get out of hand. And for right now, go to what you know best. If you have to play slow in S&D and you just have to play standard, typical search, that's the best way to do it. Find a couple rounds. The hardest points to get are the first few. Make sure you get yourself going because you want some momentum. You don't want to go down 2-0 and have no idea how you got here going into the control. That's probably the worst scenario, thinking we haven't had really any time to regroup. It's just been one map after another. So for Team WaR, round by round, pull yourself back into this game. But for Enigma6, they've been doing everything right. Mayhem at 2-6, really the only struggle factor for now. Breezy hasn't had that many engagements, but still, Kismet getting close to the slam. That's where things can change on the other side. Davey, really the only one in the position.
I mean, Kismet is literally 2 kills off. I mean, 2. He helps 2 of his teammates get a kill. Boom. He has that grab slam. He has that to work with. Team WaR need to win 4 in a row here. I mean,
Look
and
at
that's
where
so
Kismet is.
toughical. Wow, that's a word.
New words.
Now, Kismet and GodRx are on the deep flank. Breezy gets one with the sniper. Bomb is attempting to go down, but look at E6. Look at their placing. They are completely in a perfect pinch. No one is mid except for a Team WaR. Josh, he's not going to get any information because no one's going there.
It's too late.
Kismet gets one. General gets one. And it's a 3v1. Josh in mid. The bomb site was taken over. Kismet taken down, but it doesn't matter at this point as Breezy does get the last kill with that RK7 and a shot punch. I don't know.
Yeah, Josh kind of hanging around mid, waiting for a roamer, I guess, out on an island to come around, but no one was there. I mean, it was a complete flank from E6, and they retook the site, and that just comes down to reads. That comes down to a simple read. If Josh is able to maybe spot one, he rotates back. Maybe that's a completely different gunfight, but still, E6, they come out, they clutch up. They take game 2, now up 2-0 in the series. I mean, this has been a lot faster than we predicted. Team WaR is a very talented team, and coming into their first match here at Champs, it's been a relatively struggle. It's a relatively struggle. It has not been close. I mean, it's been a bit of a blowout from E6. We thought that S&D was going to at least go the distance. It didn't. It wasn't even remotely close in terms of the kill count and the first bloods each and every round except for one that finally went in terms of Team WaR's way. Still, E6 able to come out on top, and they're up 2-0.
I mean, we both were wrong. I was definitely expecting WaR to really take their S&D and run with it, but E6 just did a much better job of wolfpacking, playing together. I'm sure their comms were just incredibly calm. Whereas on your side, Team WaR, you're like, okay, now we lost like one of our best game modes. Like, now what? Now you have to win 3 in a row. You were down 2-0 in the series. I've never seen Team WaR be this inconsistent.
They've had troubles, but it's not. I don't think it's. They just don't look warmed up, and I think that's really what it comes down to. Of course, it's day 1. Yes, you have the jitters. You're getting all that out of your system, but you have to come hot on day 1. You have to be able to hit the ground running. That's not what they're doing, and that's what scares me. Right? This is a very talented amateur team. They've shown that Miami and Champs. Yes, they weren't able to close it out, but still, this is a team that can absolutely make a run. They're just not. They come out a little bit too shaky. They don't look completely warmed up. Maybe that'll change as this weekend goes on. But for now, I mean, E6, this is kind of a warm-up game for them. It really has not been close, any metric of availability for them, and it's all been in their favor. The hard point was a blowout. The S&D, it was basically easy reads for them, and it wasn't close. It wasn't close. It's hard to sort of dissect that, right? When it doesn't seem like Team War's really had a lot going on yet, and you can't really look at their plays and think, wow, I mean, the metagame here, the 4 or 5 layers to this team, it's really just been all E6.
Yeah, first series is always tough. I mean, especially it's early in the morning.
Right.
First series, going against a team like E6, obviously it's not going to be easy, but it doesn't even, do you think E6 is honestly at their full potential right now playing Team War?
No,
so that's
I
where
think
it's worrying, is because they're warming up right now. And on the side of Team War, we expect more out of them,
right.
and hopefully later in the day and tomorrow we will see that kind of fire rebuild in them. But now in this series, they're down 2-0. If they lose this series, you're starting off the rest of the day 0-1.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's not a situation you want to be in this pool, let alone any other pool. But before we hop into Game 3 Control, we're going to jump to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Call of Duty Champs. Of course, I am Spaceman, joined by Alley Cat. Oh, I thought that was pretty good, right?
That was a lot.
I thought of it in the minute when we hit air. But still, game number 3 coming up, Control E6 versus Team War. It's been a blowout. You guys have heard us talk about it. You've heard us ramble about it. I mean, we haven't had pleasant things to say about Team War, but we're hoping. We're hoping they could turn it around. I said E6 3-2. It could be a 3-0. Either way, E6 just looks like the more dominant squad. And a comment that I wanted to touch on that you mentioned, which was 100% correct. E6, they don't look like, they're in their final form. They don't look like they're playing above caliber right now. They're just going through the routine, and that's kind of what I'm getting. That's the vibes I'm getting from this team. And on the other side, Team War, they're not going through the routine. I mean, they are struggling to find the routine, and they have to do it here.
No, like I said, obviously earlier, I do agree with that, but we are hopping into Control, which I don't think I see from either side are very dominant in. So the very is interesting. Obviously, E6 does have the momentum at this moment, but maybe Team War, in Control can turn it around here. We see a lot of reverse sweeps coming out of Control. So hoping and praying we can see something coming out of Team War this map.
Yeah, Team War is I'll say this, they are very good at Control. When we watched them in Miami, watched them in Anaheim, they were a team that could not only take games away, but when it came to clutching up, literally, 10v3, they did it. They were able to do it. Of course, it was Seaside, but still, you have to look in their favor, think that they can push this one the distance, but for now, still, the life count in favor of E6. Point A, slowly being ticked away. Let's see what they can do.
It did look like Team War tried to go for the kind of surprise side of that and take B site, which, a lot of people aren't expecting, but E6, unfortunately for Team War were, but I mean, now you see them pushing out of this A site captured. They get 3 slowly. All of a sudden, that life advantage for E6 has now only gone down to 1. Now, you see a little more promising for the side of Team War, but E6 is answering so well. You see 3 of them are in mid right now. 1 is pushed up in their spawn. If you pay attention to General, I mean, he's spawning them out deep koi. Now they have to either wrap completely or get him out of spawn. Looks like PD will actually take him down, but now everybody's coming off spawn. They're really late. You have Kismet making noise in mid. He might get taken down here. He doesn't get taken down by Vortex, and this is the push we need from War. We need them to get the picks. We need them to push up fast, but these ARs looking down the lanes at them are just not letting it happen. You got Breezy and you got General, and just, I mean, how do you beat that? You need to answer with more power, and War just isn't doing that.
Yeah, and Breezy was able to find a couple of kills. Looking on board with Josh. Let's see what he's able to cook with. Still in the corner, of course, tagged up, looking for more. Mayhem will stop it. Godorex now inside, able to cut down 2. PD flooding in with the rest of its team, and Kismet trying to stop that push. Godorex still alive, 12 to 9, Dave and crew now inside. Let's see if they're able to continue this takeaway. And they're very good at retaking these points. They're very good at getting the first couple of ticks in, but it's about clutching up in the late game, making sure that end game falls where it needs to. But for now, Dave's still up, ready, waiting. Enigma6 now has to make a push out. They have a minute 15 to work with as well. Just looking to trade lives, but that's all 4. Now even the kill count, 1 more. Defrag going big for Team War.
Defrag making noise in the back there was so important because suddenly it draws E6 attention from the hill. It's basically captured at this point on the side of Team War. It does get captured, but it pulls their attention away from that. Oh, there's a guy behind us. We need to take care of him. They suddenly are trying to think about the guy behind them and the ticks being taken away at the B site. And they're suddenly pushing back. Not to mention, if he gets those kills, which he did, they're going to spawn behind him. And now suddenly they want to kill him first before they're focusing on the point. So Team War really just played that distraction incredibly well. Incredible by Defrag with that flank. Now this is what the Team War we were looking for.
This is what we were waiting for. We were waiting for just the aggressiveness from Team War. I think that's really been lacking. It's just the aggressiveness. They need to get more up in face of Enigma6, make them uncomfortable. Of course, we're getting close. Vortex 200 away from earning the Lightning. See if he can earn it here, staying inside. That's a nice 2 kills off the rip. Team WaR responding in round number 2 immediately. It's 30-28. E6 still trying to wake up in this game 3. General at 1-3. Mayhem at 6-4. He was crucial on that S&D, and he's doing a good job here. But Josh shuts down Mayhem in the back. GodRX responds. And looking at your Enigma, blown across the board. I mean, Team WaR has complete control of every line of sight. And it's going to come down to just fighting the fights inside. Yes, Arsenal is where those gunfights come down to the ARs. But right here, this is where the subs come into play. This is where those subs need to come up huge.
I mean, I'm surprised E6 doesn't have A-Site right now. They are playing so aggressive through A-Site. Lost my voice for a second. But they're pushing so aggressively when they have complete control. WaR isn't even trying to contest A-Site right now. They are not sliding in. They are playing exits. They're waiting for that aggressive E6. And it's been working out. I mean, we're 26-24, 25-24. And Live's going the way of E6, but it still seems like Team WaR's map control. But they do take down Force. Now they're spawning incredibly deep. And E6 has finally captured A. And they have a clear line to slide into B, and we'll have to see how Team WaR answers here because they played this round so perfect, and then suddenly Enigma6 just swiped through them. Dave, Frag, and Vortex answer with 3, and suddenly this looks like it's going the way of Team WaR. It is 22-19. They are up 3 lives.
Yeah, and we're seeing more of Team WaR finding themselves in the kill feed, whether it's 2, 3, 4 kills. They need to start getting that rhythm, and it looks like they're finally doing it. Vortex able to connect with the nade. You still have the War Machine in your back pocket if you want to capitalize, but Kismet shuts him down at back alley. And now we move into the point. Josh is there. PD and Koo. Company, crew, why not? All the words. PD and company still there. Breezy with the snipe, able to stop one. Dave on the outside does fall. Interesting play to pull out the snipe. Still the life count only at 2 in favor of Team WaR. Defrag, I believe he did pull out the War Machine, and we're just going to see my English is not good right now. Defrag able to pull out one more, and Breezy, that's a nice 2 kills.
English on the side of Delta Stream just is not a thing. Obviously, welcome in with Spaceman and Alley Cat.
Space Cat.
Space Cat. That's our duo name. I like
Miss
it.
you, Rich.
Now, looks like E6 is starting to do the capture. Double stuns coming in from the side of WaR. I am interested as to why Breezy has a sniper out. Usually, you know, when people pull out a sniper, there is 4 on the side of E6. They should be able to capture this here, but there is one person making noise. That will be Dave in the back. WaR doesn't look too concerned, though. It looks like the second one's coming in. Breezy showing us some nasty snipes. I mean, usually when you see a sniper get pulled out, it's like, oh, you're chalking it. Like, you're chalking this round. But, I mean, he has gotten some insane kills with it, got them in. There's now 2 ticks on the side of B. WaR only has 4 lives, 4v7, but we've seen them do this before, right? It's not completely out of the question for WaR to be able to bring this back in a 3v6. Everybody just needs to get 2, right?
That's a lot to ask for Team WaR without even playing today. It's a tall order to ask, but still now down to 5-1, well, 5-0. Kismet and Mayhem combined for 3, and that's how it's going to end. So E6 able to take round number 2. They get themselves on the board. And that's sort of what we expected, right? The quick punch from Team WaR, the aggressiveness off the start, and then E6 comes in. They slow the game down. They bring out the sniper. They stop that backline pressure. No ARs in the back. And they're able to sort of rally the game back and bring it under their control. And that's what they did. That's what they have done so well. Josh, on your best play, he locks down a couple. But moving into round number 3, again, we saw a B hit right off the start last time. I've seen that a little bit more in a lot of teams coming into this weekend and watching some of their scrims. It's really been about, we know that A is traditionally the number 1 site, but it's so much harder to grab because of how close quarters everything is. And for now, you still got to wonder, is B the right call?
And I feel like I've seen a lot of, because of that whole surprise factor, people going B side. E6, it feels like they've already read that. They've already expected them to come to the B side. They've taken on Team WaR that has now a life count up on the side of Enigma6. They are 27-6. All right, people are just dying as I'm reading out the number. Defrag gets 2. Dave gets 1. Now it's a full push to A. There's nobody on the side of Enigma6 at A. I wish Team WaR would have pushed A this time because no one was there. There was 2 mid, 3 at B. It would have been a free cap. Looks like they're getting a free cap right here as well. If you pay attention on the side of E6, you have number 9, Kismet, just sitting in the back very, very patiently, waiting for some stuff to go down, waiting for his teammates in mid. You see they're making some noise. He's playing very, very patiently. Hopefully this team can get a pick so they can start spawn killing. but they're playing a little deep. So one thing I don't know if you know about control is if you push so deep into somebody's spawn and they're already into your spawn and you kill them, you'll start spawning either very, very close to the sites or on the other side. That is the only way to kind of quotation marks flip spawns in control. But Petey, he's on B. He's the only one there, and he's got players from E6 all around him. Can he stay alive for his teammates? Unfortunately, he cannot. It is now a life count of 23 to 19. Nothing too crazy that Team WaR can't do, but they do need to deal with General in their spawn.
So attack 5 boosted for E6. They have control of B. They're stopping the pressure. 22 to 19, still life count in their favor. Again, this is the do or die game for Team WaR. They need to come out and close this one. Kismet on your screen. He does have the slam. Spots one in the back, but you still have the attack 5 boost. Kismet able to get behind, but Josh is there and he stops it. Breezy, General still moving their way in. Here comes Josh over the top, and it's all red. Finally, Breezy breaks that cycle, but still, Team WaR doing a good job of getting back in, and Josh looking for one over the top. Connects with a couple, but Kismet gets two with the slam and takes himself out with the car. But still, with all of that happening, GodRx cleans up another, and they have had complete control on defense, and it's been all of Enigma6 stopping that push.
That is all Enigma6 needed, is to re-break that hill, because it looked like it would have been the easy cap for WaR. They just had to play the defensive while standing in the hill, but that grab didn't help it. Sounds like War Machine might have been popped. It'll be contested for a second, but I mean, you look at life count, but that doesn't always matter, you know? One good push on the side of B and it's done. You know, they're spawning so deep, but when you look on the side of Specialists, obviously Enigma6 are investing them here, and that's all you need to break that. Tempest gets popped. They really want to go up this 2-1 lead here and now and hopefully get those Specialists again later in the series.
Well, he's trying to connect more. Dave, the shoulder, just way too out of it. General able to find two more, and here comes the flood. 11 to 4. I mean, this should be all but written up. Here comes the lightning as well. They've earned it. Snapping on more is General. Kismet, two more in the kill feed. No, General able to find one in the back alley. And they close it out, and they take a quick lead, 2 to 1. And that's where the specialist usage comes in play. That's where you close out the rounds as soon as you get ahead of the momentum. They did it perfectly. E6 looking to go up, take this one 3-1, and take the series 3-0.
And in control, when you're looking at two pretty top teams, it's all about who takes the defensive, right? You see a lot of, okay, this team takes an offense, this team takes offense, this team takes an offense, this team takes an offense. That is a tongue twister. But whoever takes that defense is usually who takes the control, because that is why E6 invested so much right there. You're like, it's 1-1. Why would they invest it so early? It's so that they could go up in that defense and not have to worry about it, because they've won the offense. They just have to do it again. It looks like a complete blind counter on A. Finally, we're seeing our first complete A push to go on the side of Enigma6, but PD and Defrag answer with two of their own. But it looks like 4 will go down for the side of Team WaR, and suddenly this is going to look like a very, very quick cap on the side of Enigma6. Pay attention, number 9, that is Kismet again, making some noise in mid. He does get 2. And now this just is demoralizing for Team WaR. I mean, you wanted to get that first break. Now you're going to have to give up A. Now you have to play an incredible defense on the side of B. And barely any lives have been taken on either side. So now you have all this time and all these lives to work with. You have to play perfect defense here.
Well, General does have tier 1 and 2 streaks. You do have the vision as well. And why not invest that Tempest on defense? Because you have the utility in your back pocket. Kismet finding just the buttocks of Josh as he's laying down, and he gets punished for it. Now over the top, looking to slide on in and fly through. And he does it undetected for now. Finding one more is Kismet. Still on your screen, absolutely lighting up the kill feed and the scoreboard. One more for him. Vortex didn't stand a chance. Kismet now inside, capturing B. Josh at long range getting punished. And they, even though they're stunned with everything that's been thrown at them, they stand strong. Josh does respond with that grab. General coming in from the back. He still has the lightning. And Team WaR has not gotten anywhere close to this point until now.
What looked like such a good break. I mean, Team WaR answered very, very well, but Kismet is still there making noise. He will get taken down by Vortex, but Kismet has been an absolute unit this entire map. And now, Enigma6, they still have a lightning to play with. Kismet's a couple kills off grab. He might get it if they go to around 5, but Team WaR, they might get War Machine. They might get Crash if PD goes off enough, but there is nothing to invest on that side. Enigma6, they have so much to mess with. They have 16 lives. They're only up 3, but it looks like it's going their way at this point.
Kismet is 31 and 21.
I mean,
you still, You can ask.
That's
You
a
can't
round
ask.
by himself.
You can't ask for a better play than that. You can't ask for more of a performance, especially in the opening stages of this event early today. 15 to 12 with only a minute left. You have to start making a move. And for now, Team WaR looking to hold strong. Here comes the Lightning. He's going to wait for this Lightning to hit so he doesn't get taken out. And here he comes. Oh, but he gets stunned. And that grapple doesn't connect. And he's going to actually have to be stopped inside. But it doesn't really matter. He's able to find one on a PD looking for more. And all four there. It's all blue. E6 completely wiping Team WaR out of the point.
As well as taking one of their own. Mayhem does go down, but it doesn't matter at this point. I mean, Kismet, he trusts his teammates so much. He just tagged a couple people up. He waited for his teammates to finish the kills. I mean, E6 has just done an incredible job. They still have the life advantage. It is a 3v12, but it doesn't matter because V will get capped. And that is a clean 3-0 on the side of E6.
Well, it wasn't as close as we predicted, and there was signs of life from Team WaR, but for now, I mean, E6, we have to give our hats off to them. I mean, coming out early on day one and being able to sort of get the ball rolling, keep that momentum there, and it looked like routine. It just looked like they were just having fun, and they were doing everything right. I mean, Kismet, a phenomenal game. Like you said, it's an entire game to himself. I mean, what can you say? I mean, what really more can you say? It was really one-sided this entire time, but that's what you like to see if you're an E6 fan. On the other side for Team WaR, your day is not over, your event is not over, but you got to play better than that.
Yeah, at this point, you don't want to drop any more series for Team WaR. And then on the side of E6, I mean, you're right. They've just looked like they were comfortable having fun. I want to know Kismet's EKIA personally because that number is probably absolutely insane. Because so was his actual kills. I mean, 31-21 is probably more by the end. He was just took over that map, which is surprising because usually we don't see that much out of E6 when it comes to control. So it looks like they've really put the work and time in to get better at those.
Yeah, and a quick update that we heard, it is Gen G versus Fuego. Game 5, Fuego up 3-2. Listen, if today was a day about upsets, this is the time to make it happen. Gen G looking to at least take their first series, but Fuego feeling good. Game 5 up 3-2. We'll wait to see if they're able to close it. Of course, we will keep you guys updated in our stream as well. If you would like to see the matches currently going on, twitch.tv/Call of Duty Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, and that's where we are right now. But Series 1 for us is wrapped up. Of course, it was E6 taking it 3-0 over Team WaR. Was not close by any stretch of the imagination, but nonetheless, E6 feeling good about their chances here.
Yeah, and don't forget about the squad stream, guys. You can catch all of us at the same time in case you didn't get enough of us from one stream. We can see it in like 4 or 5 at the same time. So don't ever forget about that. But I do want to talk about our next series coming up. Would you please do the honors?
Sage Esports Envy. That was
so anticlimactic.
That is going to be a great one. Listen, I'm worried for that series. I really am. I think this is a series where Envy should take it. I know. I'm sorry. I think this is where Envy should take it. But Sage, phenomenal in Miami. I mean, really, really solid.
No,
and this is a situation where, again, another written part of the book where if you want to come out and cause an upset, do it here. Do it in day number 1. But before we get that match coming up and before we get you guys all of the updates currently happening on Champs on day 1, we're going to throw to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, new faces on this side and another series coming your way. Don't go anywhere.